Hello everyone, this is Alex from Liquor Laboratory, and today I'm here to tell you about the 10 best whiskies to mix with Coke. Why go with complicated concoctions when you can whip up a cocktail in less than a minute with Coke and whiskey? Coke and whiskey is a classic combination, and while you can use most whiskies, there is a right bottle that will stand out from the rest. Keep watching to find out the best whiskies to mix with Coke. 10. Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Wild Turkey Kentucky Straight Bourbon is well loved for its bold and spicy flavors, thanks to its notably non-GMO grains, limestone filtered water, and only the finest ingredients from Kentucky. The bourbon comes with wonderful notes of cinnamon and caramel, so the flavor is improved even more when combined with Coke. Coca-Cola and Wild Turkey are popular drinks that will give you a nice treat for the palate. Mix whiskey and Coke in a glass. The flavor combination will make you want another glass. 9. Laphroaig 10-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Laphroaig is a single malt Scotch whiskey that exhibits smoky and oaky flavors, and its rich flavors complement Coke drinks. The Scotch whiskey is aged for 10 years, made from barley malt, cold smoked, and dried over a peat fire. The result of the whiskey is a renowned, bold, smoky taste with surprising sweet notes that will shine when you mix it with Coca-Cola. 8. Maker's Mark Bourbon Whiskey. Maker's Mark Bourbon is the best whiskey you should mix with Coca-Cola because it has a rich flavor that will complement sugary drinks like Coke. Maker's Mark whiskey and Coke in a double rocks glass make a fantastic drink. It combines a fizzy, sweet, refreshing carbonated drink and a well-aged whiskey. Maker's Mark is aged in white oak barrels and is slightly sweeter than other bourbons because it is made from corn, wheat, and malted barley. It is made from at least 51% corn, and instead of rye as the secondary grain, the bourbon uses red winter wheat for a smoother and sweeter palate profile. 7. Dewars Scotch Whisky. Jura Scotch whiskey is a choice for highball by Japanese bartenders because of its refreshing and unique smoothness, and it can be a great whiskey to mix with cola. In a highball glass, gently stir the whiskey and Coca-Cola to make a refreshing and sweet drink. We like the subtly sour tones and strong flavor of Dewars and its classic pairing with Coke. Like other single malts, it has a golden, rich, and mellow flavor profile. It delivers a satisfying finish with a honeyed taste of pear, citrus, and leather. 6. Johnnie Walker Red Label Scotch Whisky. Johnnie Walker Red Label Scotch Whisky is one of the most popular whiskies among drinkers worldwide because of its established reputation and great flavor profile. Red Label is meant to be mixed with different mixers because it is inexpensive and has amazing tasting notes. Its bottling proof is in the right amount and will not overpower the sweet cherry notes of Coke. 5. Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Jim Beam is the best whiskey to mix with Coke because it has an elegant, refined, and smooth flavor. It is one of the lower proof bourbons and a well-aged whiskey that mixes great with different mixers. The Jim Beam whiskey and Coke can be your go-to mixed drink as they are easy to make and enjoyable. The bourbon whiskey has nice caramel, vanilla, and creamy flavor thanks to its corn mash. Jim Beam is the right whiskey to mix with cola as it bursts spice, oak notes, dried herbs, nutmeg, mineral, and dried citrus that pair well with Coke's sweetness. 4. Jim Beam Black. If you are looking for the best whiskey to mix with Coke, Jim Beam Black can be your favorite whiskey. This whiskey has been well lauded for its full-bodied taste and aging. It is aged for extra refinement and elegance, so you can enjoy drinking it neat, on the rocks, or as a cocktail. It is the best whiskey to mix with Coke because it is budget-friendly and can stand out when mixed with other flavors. 3. Crown Royal Blended Canadian Whiskey. Crown Royal is known for its smoothness and lingering finish, and the almost desert-like flavor profile of the whiskey will blend well when mixed with Coke. Who would have thought that Canadian whiskey mixes well with Coke? The Crown Royal has oak, smoke notes, and the quintessential maple syrup on your tongue. As you mix the whiskey with cola, you will notice the amazing tasting notes of the drink. From oak to brown sugar notes, it can keep up and be one of the best whiskeys for Coke. 2. Bulleit Bourbon. Bulleit Bourbon can be a great option if you want the best bourbon whiskey to mix with Coke. It may not be a higher proof bourbon, but it is a bold and rich whiskey that will elevate the taste of the classic whiskey and Coke. Bulleit has a peppery rye flavor, a rich cinnamon aftertaste, and overall ruggedness. If you love to drink whiskey with mixers, you should try to mix Bulleit with cola. 1. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. JD being the most popular whiskey of choice for Coke is a no-brainer. Jack seems to be a jack of all trades as it blends well with Coke, and you can also enjoy it in old-fashioned and Manhattans. The Tennessee whiskey blends well because they have something in common: rich vanilla notes. It is well loved by many people and different celebrities in the US. The whiskey and Coke are undeniably fizzy and delicious concoctions. It is the best whiskey to mix with Coke because it complements the sweet soda and gives you a nice alcohol rush. What does whiskey and Coke taste like? Whiskey and Coke taste like a sweet carbonated drink with a nice kick and bitterness from the whiskey. Whiskey and Coke is a bubbly and refreshing drink, and it is easy to drink, as the sweetness of cola complements well with the flavors of the whiskey. Depending on the type of whiskey you will use, it can be sweeter, slightly spicy, smoky, or oaky. It does not have a flavor clash, and the flavors complement each other. What is whiskey and Coke called? Whiskey and Coke is commonly called Jack and Coke. It was a marketing strategy of JD and a combined effort of the brand aiming to get the cola and whiskey combination into a popular concoction. Years later, the concoction became popular in South America and other parts of the world. The two brands teamed up to make cocktails in the can. Frequently asked questions. Can you mix Jameson whiskey with Coke? Yes, you can mix Jameson whiskey with Coke. Mix 1 part Jameson and 2 parts cola to serve a rich and smooth cocktail. It is easy to make and enjoyable to consume. Is there a whiskey you shouldn't mix with Coke? It would be best not to mix Coke with a very expensive and rare whiskey. It will be a waste to consume expensive whiskeys with mixers, as it is ideally made to consume neat and with ice. Is Coke better mixed with rum than whiskey? Coke is both great to mix with rum and whiskey. Cola is a versatile carbonated beverage, and its flavor profile blends well with rum and whiskey. Whiskey and Coke seem like they were made for each other, and all you need is to find a worthy bottle of whiskey to mix with cola. The natural vanilla flavor of whiskey mixes great with the heavy caramel of Coke. Bulleit Bourbon, Maker's Mark, and Crown Royal can elevate the taste of whiskey and cola. However, if you want to go traditional and classic, you can never go wrong with a Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey bottle.